Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Shotsuki service for the month of August. It's nice to have everyone here and there, and nice to begin a new month today, August 1st. So I always like to point out, I really appreciate, and we all do, I believe, that, our tradition of holding these Shotsuki services and taking the time, making it part of our practice to remember and acknowledge those people in our families that we have lost. And in doing so, we strengthen our sense of family, we strengthen our ties to the temple, and in turn, we also strengthen our own grounded lives and our own identities. So there are many positive things that come from holding these Shotsuki services, and it's always nice to see families encouraging each other to sit together and appreciate the Shotsuki tradition together, and maybe making it a family occasion where meal together can be shared, and the sense of family can be reinforced, and this is always so important. So thank you for being here at this service. At this time, I would like to welcome our chairpersons for today that you may recognize. Yes, indeed. Our chairpersons for today's Shotsuki service, again, is the Sloth family. Sadie and Mama Sho and baby Tsuki are all here together, and it's very nice that they are so determined and appreciative to come back and always be our chairpersons for our Shotsuki services. They so appreciate this tradition and what it means to our families and what it has come to mean to them. So it helps them to see the depth of the Jodo Shinchu traditions and how much each family is able to benefit through these services and traditions that we provide. So after the last Shotsuki service, we were talking about the chicken obento fundraiser that was being held at the Enmanji Buddhist Temple in Sebastopol. And so I told them all about it, and that some of the members in Alameda had ordered obento, and so I would be going up there to pick up some of these obento and bring them back to the members here, and how that happens, here and there in different temples, and we have maybe relatives that are at one temple or another. We have friends that are at one temple or another, and we try to support different events and go back and forth sometimes to visit and support each other. So they had not been to many other temples. They were very amazed at the story and wanted to see for themselves. So they had made a plan to take the trip to Enmanji and to make their way to Sebastopol and see what's up in that area, and to see a different temple and the members over there. And so right after the last Shotsuki service in July, they headed out to make this trip. They brought some supplies and headed towards their goal of getting to see the Enmanji temple. And then after a couple of weeks of travel, they made it to the pond on the temple grounds in Alameda. So a little bit disappointed that it was already time to turn back to be here in time for this service. But they did get out to the pond and turned around exhausted, but they have made it back with a couple of days to spare. And so they are happy to be here today. They're wearing their masks, reminding us to continue to be safe. And as you see, they have their onenju on, so they are ready for service. I'd like to share our service order for today. We will have our Shotsuki format, and we will begin with the reading of the Hyobyakumon And this is followed by the reading of the Shotsuki names. So while the names are being read, please come up and Oshoko as a family unit here and there, as you have set up to do at your homes, whether you are burning incense or providing some other offerings, but come up and while the names are being read to offer incense or Gassho. Okay. This will be followed by the Sambujo and the Amida Kyo from my seat upon the altar, and Nembutsu and Ekoku will complete the chanting portion of the service. Then I'll come back to the podium here and provide our Dharma message. Okay. So with that, we will begin. Please join me in Gassho as I read the Hyobyakumon. Today, on this occasion of the Shotsuki service for the month of August, members of our temple families have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. Namo Kie Butsu, Namo Kie Ho, Namo Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. These are the Shotsuki names for the month of August. Abe Masako, Ando Yoshio, Di Stefano Ethel Norel, Furuzawa Infant Masatomi, Hashimoto Hiroko, Hashimoto Jimmy, Hashimoto Yasuhiko, Hattori Kazuye, Hedani Kyoko, Higashi Kazuko, Hirotsuka Infant, Honda Tatsuo, Sue Brian Wei, Ikegaki Yoshio, Imazumi Nobue, Inoue Tomio, Ishii Infant Isamu, Iwahashi Paul K, Kanzaki Kyoshi, Kataoka Masao, Kawauchi Infant Izumi, Kitashima Roy, Konishi Pat T, Kuge Naoyoshi, Marubayashi Infant Shinogu, Matsubara Taichi, Matsumoto Infant Chiyoko, Michisaki Wakataro, Mitani Kyoko, Miyawaki Tadao, Mori Kazuo, Mune Hisataro, Nakamura Hideko, Nagasugi Kunio, Nishida Ichiro, Oba Togi, Oishi Sugi, Okamoto Virginia T, Saito Yoshi, Sakamoto Tsuneji, Shibata Yoshio, Shimada Kazuo, Shirai Infant Akira, Shiraishi Ushitaro, Sugino Maki, Sugiyama Kimiko, Takahashi, Takashi, Takao, Mitsue, Takara Infant Isamu, Takeda Mildred, Takeda Shizu, Tamura Mana, Terao Ura, Tsuchiya, Miyano, Tsurumoto, Matsutaro, Uchiyama, Fui, Uo, Shoichi, Ushijima, James K, Wada, Mitsue, Yamasaki Infant Tomie, Yamashita Furu, Yamashita Haruno, Yamashita Masao, Yamashita Shoichi, 山下俊夫、柳和友、頼地一。These are the Shotsuki names for the month of August. If there are additions or corrections, please notify the office. Now we'll have the Sutra chanting Sambujo and Amida Kyo, half as usual. Namanda, 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 namanda. 天マカクチライハタシュリハンダガナンダアナンダタゴラキョボンハダイビンズルアラダカルダイマカコヒンナアクラヌルダニョゼト初代で死病消防さマカサモンジュシリオジアイタボサケンダカダイボサ上昇人ボサヨニョゼト初代ボサ牛食大官陰と無料商店大祝一時文語衝動者利法重税裁法過十万六分道世界の万国楽合道文語阿弥陀本現在説法者利法非道過去名意極楽合国修女無宿単住小楽公明極楽者利法極楽国道七十乱樹七十羅網七十五十改正司法主総意尿税公非国名万極楽者利法極楽国道司法治薬毒水十万五中地帯順に本社富士支援街道本言ルリアリ五条上老閣役位今言ルリアリ社交釈主名の二号直視地中連下大尿者臨床式症候法式陽子釈式釈光白式白光微妙光原者利法極楽国道上十尿税空毒将軍ル者利法異部国道上差天学黄金二次昼夜六時二遊万ダラ系合国修女上位小単各位英国上州名家空用他法十万六分即位直時検討本国本直教業者利法国楽国道上州尿税空毒将軍物資者利法異国上修十奇妙座敷市長白光空弱オウムシャリカ両便が愚名市長継承州長長や六時水和下音合音延長合根公力七宝大運発祥道分尿税東方合同修上門税音二回新年分年法年祖他利法尿物医師長実税祭法少少少医者が異部国土無産幕州者利法合部国土小無産幕道司名家教人税小州長大税阿弥陀文力両方温泉流園芸少佐者利法異部国土微風水道小法五十九法ラモ水未明二尿百戦十学同時空差門税音社開示年上年分年法年相指針者利法東部国道長寿尿税空毒将軍 Namanda, 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 Namanda. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Good morning again, everyone. For today's Shotsuki service, I thought I would share a story from old Japan. This is about a young lady, 14-year-old girl, who worked in a cotton mill. And at this cotton mill, a sensei used to come regularly and give a Dharma talks. So through his visits to the cotton mill, she and a number of other workers would listen regularly to sit in on his Dharma messages, and so she had come to really appreciate what the Nembutsu teachings were offering, and to become a very devout Jodo Shinshu follower. And so she wrote a letter to her sensei trying to express this and the life of gratitude that she had come to be able to live through hearing the Dharma talks and to be able to practice as well. So she wrote this, "Dear Sensei," and expressing all of this and how she had become aware of this great compassion that is always received from the Buddha, from Amida. And so she is so grateful to be able to receive this, and that she really doesn't deserve all this. And each morning she wakes up before coming to work, and she Gassho, and after work when she comes home, she goes to the family obotsudan and lights incense and provides a pinch of incense. When there's more time, she'll chant the sutras and really appreciative of all that she felt, this embrace of Amida. So she's so happy that she felt this way. So writing this and describing this, and don't you think so, Sensei? And so she continues on in her letter and talking about, she might complain and grumble throughout the days now and then and doing this and that, and but still she feels this compassion coming to her and providing everything in her life just as she is, sono mama, and not really doing things to deserve this compassion, but she receives it anyway. And so all the more, feeling like she didn't deserve it, but that she does deserve it, she feels this peace and comfort and happiness, that she senses this embrace from the Buddha. And so she described it as a feeling of, and so I'm filled with peace and happiness. So this kind of sense that she's describing and conveying is to the sensei. And I would like to read the last paragraph of her letter. And she wrote, "Sensei, I realize that I do not have it easy. Today the temperature in the mill was from 95 to 100 degrees. Perspiration fell from my brow like a waterfall. I had to change my clothes 3 times. Many workers were unable to endure the heat, and some of them collapsed from their exertion. However, although we possess our bodies, it is both ours and yet not ours. I will not cry over my present condition. I must leave everything to the Nembutsu and single-mindedly make my way along our path." Gassho. And so when I read this story, I thought, there may be many people who feel this way on occasion, hopefully so, that the Nembutsu path has come to mean something significant to them. And it also reminded me of stories of myokonin who are so devout followers, maybe not learned, maybe illiterate peasants, and coming to find a depth of their life in when they encounter and embrace the Nembutsu teachings. And so she's not described as one of our myokonin in the Shin Buddhist tradition, but the story certainly conveys that sense of appreciation and her own description of feeling like, I'm filled with peace and happiness. And despite the hardships that she might feel at work, physical hardships, and despite her grumbling and complaints throughout the day and reflections of her still self-centeredness that comes boiling up, but all the more she feels that she receives this compassion undeserved. So I thought it was a wonderful story, and in turn, when we come to our Shotsuki services, we come to acknowledge the people we've lost in our families, and through them we sense our own embrace, not only of our family, of our embrace by the infinite, being a part of all of this. You know, the family is a recognizable aspect of this infinite wisdom and compassion that is flowing and surrounding each of us. You know, not just an idea, but a living force of wisdom and compassion that swirls around us, and we recognize it and we refer to it as Amida, and we connect with it through the Nembutsu. And this is our Nembutsu path that we follow in our Jodo Shinshu temples. So with that, I would like to thank you for joining us for this service, Shotsuki service today. I will prepare the incense burner and light the incense so we could all come up in Oshoko here and there. And please set up your own, whatever you have provided to do, burning incense or flower petals, pebbles, marbles, whatever you have, okay? So please join me in Gassho. We will conclude this service. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all the people who have helped to set up this service. Thank you to the chair people, the flower arrangements, the fruits, the video people, everyone who was involved, and especially all of you who are here today. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Namanda, Namanda.